Welcome back to Perspectives here on Arise News.
Charles Odii is a Nigerian entrepreneur, author, and development consultant. He is the founder of SME 100 Africa, an organization mentioned as Africa's foremost social enterprise, founded to ensure young entrepreneurs in Africa succeed, regardless of their socio-economic background. Through SME 100 Africa, Charles has trained over 10,000 young entrepreneurs through his annual Young Entrepreneurs Incubator program. Charles additionally sits on various boards of enterprises and non-profit organizations. He is an alumnus of the United States International Visitors Leadership Program for Young Business Leaders. Great to have you join us today, Charles.
Thank
How
you.
are
Thank
you?
you so much
Good
for
to see
having
you
me.
again,
Thank
Charles.
You. Thank you.
It's encouraging to hear young folks like you aspiring, even though amidst all the challenges that we are facing. And I think what is also most important is that when you look at presidents abroad, like in United States, not the United States because he's in
Nigeria.
But if you look at younger presidents, they seem to be more youth-friendly. They seem to be able to connect with you youth better. Do you understand? They are more technology compliant. They know what time it is, and they get you, so to speak. So how do you determine a youth-friendly president? What key traits must he have, and what level of awareness and exposure must he possess to ensure he gets the youth? And how can his government earn your trust and make you stay in your country rather than leaving, rather than Japa? We are tired of Japa. At least you are a living testimony now that things can get better.
Yeah.
So what can your president do, the incoming president? How does he need to connect with you to make you stay?
Okay, I think first of all, the incoming president has one job. He's the chief legislator, he's the chief commander-in-chief, but he also has to be the chief citizen, right? The reason why a lot of people are leaving is it's not rocket science. They're going to better their lives. You know, if these things are here, the people will stay. And we have a lot of smart people who exodus Nigeria. So some of the surgeons abroad, some of the scholars, professors are one of the smartest Nigerians.
Absolutely.
But the country does not reflect this kind of knowledge that these people have. So I think that one of the traits that the president has to have, apart from being technology savvy, right? By technology savvy, we're not talking about someone who is helping manage your Twitter account and your Instagram account. No, we're talking about somebody who is not connected from the masses. Someone who can feel the pulse of the people.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, someone who will not go to bed until a solution is resolved. And a bulk of that has to come with communication. So a president might have all those good intentions, but not being able to communicate it to the masses is a fundamental problem.
Yeah.
So that disconnection from the masses is something that we want to see. We want to see that the president is as human as I am. The president understands when there's, like you were talking about petrol scarcity, the president understands that there's petrol scarcity in the country and is making concerted effort to solve that. Not just sitting somewhere in Aso Rock and just going about his life like nothing is happening. So those who are there for office they have to be human. They have to be human in everything.
Human touch.
Human touch.
Human touch,
in
yes.
every expression. You have to be human in your communication. You have to be human in your relations. You have to be human in your rallies. You have to be human in your manifesto. So everything that you're doing right now, we have to feel it, because all we know, like I said, is they're antecedents. And if you look at the CVs of all the people who are vying for office, one of them actually got to the head of private sector, now venture into politics. The other one, we do not know what he has done before. The other person has lived in politics all his life. But we cannot see how some of them have actually touched human lives in masses when they were there. We cannot see, only one of them that I know, handed his chief of staff was a guy at the age of 35 or 36. Wow. And the chief of staff now went on to succeed him as a governor. That's one person that I want to identify with, because I can see that, okay, you've got plans for young people. What did you do when you were in office? What did you make available for young people? How can young people now say that their lives have been better, they can accrue to growth because you were there? Not now that you want to come for office and you are now making all the promises for young people and say, okay, I'm going to do this and do that. But you had power. Even those who have not even ruled, what did you do in your organization for young people?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the governor, I'm not the president, but I'm the founder of a young entrepreneur organization called SM1 Africa. In my little capacity, I've been able to raise close to $1 million to fund young businesses. We have over 100,000 people in our community. We help them access to finance, access to market, capacity development, mentoring, and network. Over 12,000 of them have been trained out of Nigeria. I've gone to meet Google to say, listen, Google, come, you've got to have to help me. We have to train.
How did you raise this fund, sir?
We raised this fund by, first of all, people coming to us to say, listen, I'm in diaspora. I want to put money into some things that I know that are successful. I mean, okay, we have a portfolio. We say, okay, we know these guys to their homes. We can help them. We can help you better manage your funds. Other people, we organize pitch competitions. Come and pitch. And many of them were panel of judges who sat around the table and said, okay, I want to put my money behind this person. I'm not a governor. I'm not a president.
And look at what little
I look at what I'm doing.
Look at doing.
How much more some of you who have run offices and had budgets in millions of dollars, what have you done? So that's what we should actually start to look at, you know, and that's what young people are looking at. And I think I'm speaking for a majority of young people.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's what they're looking at, how to better their lives. One word, growth.
I think they need to inject young blood into their think tank.
Yes, and you know, so they now say we young people, we're not taking the bull by the horn, we're being timid. We should go and take power. How will we take power? Yeah. When people like you, older people, are not even bringing up, because if young people take power without experience, it will be a disaster. So we need you older people to groom us, to put us here to say, okay, as my special assistant, my special advisor, this is how we're doing it, and we're learning the ropes so that it'll be easier for you to now hand over to us. And kudos to those older people who are doing this same thing and making sure that there's a path for young people, so that at the time that is the time for young people to take it, we'll do exceedingly well.
Let's discuss the entrepreneurial side of things. You've given us your feedback on what government should be, what the vision should look like. Now, what's the vision for entrepreneurs? In Nigeria today, our entrepreneurs are the most resilient, hardworking people in the world. We have the likes of Flutterwave that has gone on to be valuated at over $3 billion US. But we also have SMEs, which you run SME 100 Africa, who struggle on a daily basis, who haven't been able to break even over the years. We have people who are going through very challenging times. There's a vision, a bigger vision, that despite the challenges in Nigeria, we want our entrepreneurs to rise. They are the backbone of our economy. They are the backbone of progress. What's your vision?
I mean, my vision for entrepreneurs in Nigeria will ride on one thing, an enabling environment for these guys to succeed. That's what we want any government to do. Just create an enabling environment. Don't come and now make it so hard for them to work. First of all, there's no power. So small businesses have started to provide their own power. There are no roads leading to their offices. Many of them have started to improvise, going online, and even building roads. But you see that even those that are building roads, they're taking them to court. Someone just said me about one entrepreneur who was in court for even trying to build roads. They took him to court.
Really?
The road to his office.
The road to his supermarket.
So tell me, what was his crime?
His crime was that he didn't carry the government along.
But I know a lot of private citizens do that.
They do that,
and they repair the roads themselves.
So the local government chairman wants you to come through them. And you know what happens when you come through government?
Of course.
A lot of non-transparency and stuff. So just one word. An enabling environment, and that's what we want the government to do.
We've wanted that for decades, 6 decades.
Even
this
constant power.
Power
goes a long way.
It helps with enabling environment, and after the enabling environment, it's policies. Yeah. So we don't want you to. So one thing that government is doing right now, which I think that they should start to be next president or next administration to look at, is the government cannot be a regulator and a player. I'll give you an instance. NIPOST. NIPOST wants to be delivering packages, but NIPOST wants to be regulating everyone in that industry. The president of FIFA cannot be the president of FIFA and come and play for England. Okay. You have to choose one and do that. So NIPOST now is all the delivery companies are now getting letters from NIPOST. NIPOST is coming to regulate them. Meanwhile, NIPOST is the same business with them.
We just need new policies and stronger policies to be made. But I think what is most important is that the government, whoever comes into power, must take into cognizance that their team or their think tank must at least have a huge percentage of people under 35.
Absolutely.
Like you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think it's
because
not just age,
with vibrant ideas.
But about competence.
Of course, naturally competence. If you're not competent, you won't.
Thank you. Just put in the very best people for the job.
Put in the very best people, but put people who are more current, who have their fingers on the pulse buttons, who are forward thinking. Whether you like it or not, the youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow.
Yes,
so what you're doing is that you're creating a think tank where you have your own ideas, but these people come up with newer ideas, more more currents, more vibrance, more. I mean, look at the way he has just our young Charles here just spoke. Do you understand? Now, imagine if you were in the team of a presidential campaign. I'm campaigning for you here. You know, I mean, the difference is clear. It's like night and day.
Yeah.
You cannot keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. It is time for change.
It is.
Even the presidents, like I referred to, of America, he has young people.
Yeah.
In his
Absolutely.
team.
Greater inclusion. I mean,
Yes,
representation is still very
exactly.
low.
Even
and the minimum is 35%. If we're not even seing women that are 50% of the population being represented,
more women
young people,
more women and more young people
in government, and more younger people. I think there should even be an age gap. After a certain age, you know, really retire and you know, give room for the others to grow.
Yes, and then help mentor others to come.
Of course, help mentor others to come. And we're
because we need that experience.
That this is what Nigeria will do in the way forward. But thank you so much, Charles, for being with us.
Thank you.
We look forward to hearing from you again, and maybe we might be looking at the future Nigerian president here. Who knows? In another 10, 20 years. But well done. And
thank you so much.
Congrats on what you're doing, and continue to do what you do best.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good to meet you.